What truly unfolds when a younger woman feels a powerful, undeniable pull toward an older man? Most guys envision a flawless fairy tale, but the psychological reality is far more complex, intense, and revealing than any fantasy. You consumed endless content on how to attract women, but what happens when it actually works? When her interest becomes something deep and real? Do you think it's all smooth and effortless? It can be. She might illuminate your world. She could reignite a fire you thought was long gone, and she will interact with you in ways that feel completely new. But, and this is a part most men never see coming, there are also behaviors, emotional currents, and subtle psychological shifts that only surface when her desire is genuine. Some are wonderfully affirming, others are fiercely protective, and a few come with challenges you must be prepared for. If you miss these signals, you'll misinterpret her actions. You'll misunderstand her intentions, and you'll overlook the quiet authority she hands you. So today, we're decoding it all. These are the authentic ways younger women engage with older men when the attraction is profound. Let's begin. Number 7. Her forgiveness becomes almost limitless. Think of any classic comedy where a character is head over heels. The other person could do something outright bizarre, and they just find it charming. It's not just a movie trope. It's a psychological truth. When someone holds a deep attraction for you, their capacity for forgiveness expands dramatically. Their patience grows. Their judgment softens. Their perspective fundamentally shifts. And younger women are no different. If you rank highly on her personal scale of appeal, she will find reasons to excuse nearly anything. She'll explain it away. She'll rationalize it. And crucially, her interest will remain unshaken. Let's ground this in reality. Picture yourself as an older man, perhaps in your 40s or 50s, seeing a younger woman. Maybe you have some habits. Maybe you're a bit disorganized. Maybe you're not glued to your phone. Or perhaps your cultural references are a decade behind. For many, these could be red flags. But if her attraction is real, these imperfections simply won't register as negatives. She'll smile at them. She'll dismiss them. She might even find them uniquely appealing because they make you authentic. They ground you in reality. Why does this happen? Because when a younger woman is genuinely drawn to an older man, she begins to view him through a different filter, a kinder, more accepting one, a lens where your supposed flaws don't diminish your worth. They add to your character. This is the origin of the saying, to the right person, you can do no wrong. It's not about perfection. It's about how attraction reshapes perception. And this is merely the start. Number 6. Her attention becomes unmistakable. If a woman perceives you as highly attractive, if you've hit that note of appeal that resonates with her personally, she will make it known. And by known, I don't mean she'll march over and declare her feelings. That's not typically how they operate, especially younger women captivated by a mature man's presence. Instead, she will select you, and she will do it palpably. You'll notice her gaze finding you in a crowd. You'll see her leaning in to speak to a friend, then glancing your way. You'll sense the atmosphere change when she's near you. She'll manufacture reasons, countless reasons, to be in your orbit. Let's paint a clearer picture. Imagine walking into a social event as an older man. You're dressed with intention. You carry yourself with a quiet assurance that comes from experience. Then, something observable occurs. The women in the room take note, not just a passing glance, but a conscious acknowledgement. She might not approach you directly, many won't, but the indicators are everywhere. The prolonged look she quickly breaks away from, the quiet conversation with her circle, the way her group subtly migrates closer to your space. Her laugh becomes more pronounced when you're within earshot, the accidental brush against your arm, the way she observes you when she thinks you're distracted. This is where the dynamic ignites. Because as an older man, you possess something younger men are still cultivating. A settled confidence, a grounded presence, and emotional composure. Women, particularly younger women, are attuned to this. Blend that with your physical presentation, and you cease to be just another attendee. You become the man she's focused on, the man her friends have noticed, the man her eyes instinctively track. This is an influence you might not even recognize you hold. Number 5, she will set her pride aside. When you are magnetically pulled to someone, you can't help but affirm them. For women, this is significant, deeply significant. They are often the recipients of validation. They are accustomed to being approached, praised, and pursued. They don't usually make the initial move. So, when a woman begins to validate you, it's a powerful psychological indicator. It signifies one core truth. Her attraction is potent. Potent enough that she's willing to lower the defenses she typically maintains. The only man a woman actively validates is one she finds physically compelling. Someone who aligns with her internal blueprint of an ideal, masculine partner. Someone who scores at the peak of her personal attractiveness metric. Not the world's, but her own. And here's the crucial part. You don't need to be classically handsome by everyone's standards. You don't need a model's face. You only need to be her type. That is the entire requirement. If you match what she personally finds appealing, if your maturity, your stability, your energy, and your confidence resonate with what she unconsciously seeks, then she will willingly relax her guard. She'll offer the first compliment. She'll send the first message. She'll start the dialogue. She'll show you her softer side. She'll find your humor funnier than it is. She'll share more personal stories. She'll attempt to earn your admiration. She will act in ways she reserves for a man who truly captivates her. This is the real-time surrender of ego. Many younger women protect their pride fiercely. But with a man they're genuinely attracted to, especially an older one, that "I'm too cool to try" attitude evaporates. Why? Because the fear of losing you is real. She recognizes that men like you are uncommon. She knows this connection feels different. She senses a quality in you that peers her own age often lack, and instinctively, she becomes willing to bridge the gap. This is a green light most men fail to see. Number 4, the platonic boundary will blur. If you're a man with few female friends, a purely friendly dynamic might seem straightforward. But here's where it gets candid. If you are a man who maintains yourself, if you're in good shape, well-groomed, dressed with purpose, and carry a confident, masculine energy, then it becomes remarkably difficult for many women to sustain a simple friendship with you, not because of your intentions, but because of the attraction they experience. Let's be direct. The whole "can men and women be friends" debate is most heated when there's an underlying spark, or when one person feels it. It's easy to stay in the friend zone when there's no magnetic pull. But when you're the guy she finds physically appealing, the entire equation changes. Even if you aren't making a move, even if you see her only as a friend, even if you prefer simplicity, her mind doesn't work that way. Envision this. You're out with a female friend. Everything is casual until the tone shifts. The conversation deepens. Her compliments become more intimate. You have a great presence. I've always admired your calmness. Her physical touch becomes slightly more deliberate. She reduces the space between you. Her laughter becomes more knowing, more connected. That's not just camaraderie. That's attraction leaking past the walls she built. The reality is, if she finds you physically attractive, the lines will inevitably smudge. Even if she attempts to suppress it, she's human. And genuine attraction doesn't vanish because you've both agreed on a label, a moment of shared vulnerability, a particularly connecting laugh. An emotionally charged evening can tilt the entire foundation. And once that window opens a crack, it's impossible for her to ignore what she feels. This is why self-assured, attractive men seldom remain in the friend zone permanently. Not due to their own agenda, but because of the attraction they inspire. Number 3, your spaces will merge. Let's say you have a shared social circle or work in the same environment. You decide to grab a coffee, and moments later, she appears, also suddenly in need of a caffeine fix. You pass by her and say hello. She responds with a vibrant, energy-filled greeting. Not a simple hey, but a response that feels like you've made her afternoon. You propose an informal gathering after hours, and she's the first to commit. She might even reshuffle prior arrangements just to attend, knowing you'll be there. She seeks out your gaze in a room. She appreciates your humor, even when it's just between you two. She naturally positions herself within your vicinity. She subconsciously mirrors your posture and your speech patterns. This isn't random. This isn't just being sociable. This is a principle of proximity in action. A woman who is interested will find paths into your world. Her physical self gravitates toward you without a conscious command. But here is where you need discernment. If her primary reason for seeking you out is transactional, if she only appears when she needs assistance, like tech support, moving help, or a favor, then her motivation might be utility, not attraction. A woman who is genuinely into you does not exploit you. She enriches your environment. However, there's another fascinating layer. If a woman sees you as particularly attractive, perhaps even more so than she feels she is, her behavior might become unusual. She could act nervous, a bit clumsy, unusually quiet, or even seem slightly distant. Attraction can make her behave in endearingly awkward ways. Some women almost revert to a youthful giddiness around a man they want. It's not an act. It's being emotionally overwhelmed. Number 2, the unexpected challenge of high appeal. Most men fantasize about being highly desirable, but they rarely consider the unique psychological complexities that come with it, particularly with younger women. Some women might subtly minimize your attractiveness to create a sense of normalcy, not because they don't see it, but precisely because they do. If you are highly attractive, she might attempt a level playing field so she doesn't feel like she's the one pursuing. This is a nuanced power dynamic, a quiet psychological tactic. Others may do it to manage your ego or to maintain a perceived balance of power. She doesn't want to feel like she outkicked her coverage, so she tries to bring you closer to her level. She won't say you're unattractive. She won't outright insult you. Of course not. She wouldn't be there if she felt that way. Instead, you might hear comments like, "I usually date really fit guys," or "You're not the first handsome man I've been with." These aren't attacks. These are psychological calibrations. She's attempting to normalize your high value in her own mind. She's signaling that she doesn't want you to feel like the sole prize, even though internally, that's exactly what you are. Women often temper the appeal of attractive men, just as men might downplay the beauty of women they feel nervous around. It's a protective strategy. But here's what most men misinterpret. This should not wound your pride. It should not create insecurity. It should not provoke an emotional reaction, because her need to downplay your looks is, in fact, evidence of how highly she rates you. It's a form of self-preservation. Her need to level you is proof of your height. And there's an even more potent aspect. Some younger women may experience jealousy if you receive more external attention than they do. If other women look at you, compliment you, or engage with you, she might suddenly seem annoyed, defensive, or cool. Not because she's angry with you, but because she's anxious about potential rivals. Her insecurity manifests as moodiness. Her deep interest reveals itself as frustration. Her fear of competition can create minor emotional turbulence. This is a dimension of attraction most men don't anticipate, but it is very real. And if you're an older man who presents well, knows his value, and carries himself with purpose, you will encounter this more often than you'd think. Number 1, the foundation of value. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, the underpinnings are often more strategic and psychological than mere surface charm. Younger women today don't simply choose older men for looks or charisma alone. They choose older men for the substance they represent, not in a shallow transactional sense, but in a biological, emotional, and deeply instinctual way. For millennia, women have been conditioned to seek partners who provide stability, safety, guidance, and a clear vision for the future. Older men naturally emanate these qualities. Here's the honest truth. A significant part of the attraction from younger women towards older men is rooted in the life structure they can provide, particularly financial stability, which serves as a foundation for our own aspirations and security. Now, let's draw a parallel every man can understand. Imagine you have a decent job. You're comfortable. You're skilled. But then a new opportunity arises, offering greater compensation, more security, more freedom, and clearer long-term growth. Even if you're content, that new offer demands your consideration. You'll weigh the pros and cons. You'll think about the future benefits. It's a strategic evaluation, not just an emotional one. This mirrors how many younger women view relationships with older men. They aren't just looking at the present moment. They are assessing where a life with you could lead in 5, 10, or 20 years. They desire a man with direction, purpose, emotional resilience, financial wisdom, life experience, and a strong masculine core. A man who knows what he wants and how to build a legacy. Younger men often haven't solidified these traits yet, but older men frequently have. The attraction is genuine, but it's interwoven with considerations of value, vision, and long-term compatibility. Yes, the reality is more pragmatic than many men prefer to acknowledge, but it's also rooted in ancient instincts. And once a younger woman recognizes this substance in you, her attraction transforms into something incredibly powerful, both emotionally and psychologically. So now you have a complete picture. You understand the behaviors, the psychological tells, the ego adjustments, the blurred lines, the protective jealousy, the profound forgiveness, and yes, the strategic valuation happening beneath the surface. This leads to one final, essential question. How do you, as the older man, respond to all of this? Because deep psychological attraction isn't just about her actions. It's about your conduct when her interest becomes evident. And this is the critical error most men make. A younger woman's attraction to an older man is potent, but it can be delicate if mismanaged. If you begin to overinvest, if you become emotionally needy too quickly, if you place her on a pedestal, if you abandon your core frame, if you act as if you've hit the lottery, you will erode the very traits that drew her to you. Women, and younger women specifically, are attracted to older men because of your steadiness, your emotional control, your discipline, your boundaries, your presence, your maturity, your purpose. Sacrifice these, and you sacrifice the connection. But when you uphold them, when you remain centered, self-assured, discerning, and emotionally solid, her attraction doesn't wane. It deepens. She stays for the strength your consistency provides. She feels secure with you. She feels led by you. She feels cherished but not controlled. She feels understood but not overwhelmed. She feels connected yet still curious. This equilibrium, this masculine balance, is what separates the older men she fondly remembers from the older men she develops a profound attachment to. And here is the most impactful part. A younger woman may initially choose you for stability you represent, but she remains the man you are, your leadership, your unwavering nature, your emotional fortitude, your masculine essence. This is what converts attraction into loyalty. This is what turns interest into commitment. This is what transforms desire into devotion. If she treats you in the ways we've detailed, it means you hold significant sway over her emotional world. But with that influence comes a duty. You must strive to be the kind of man whose existence enhances her life, not dominates it, not manipulates it, not constricts it. A man she can evolve alongside. A man she respects. A man she trusts. A man she admires not because you insist on it, but because you naturally embody it. That is the right application of this knowledge. Not to ensnare her, but to comprehend her. Not to dominate her, but to lead with certainty. Not to play games, but to stand firmly in your own power. When you achieve that, the dynamic between you becomes something truly formidable. This is the wisdom of thought. My name is, and if you're still listening, that speaks volumes. You're not just passively curious. You're a man seeking a deeper understanding of human connection. A man who values clarity, truth, and personal mastery. A man who refuses to be blind to the subtle languages of attraction. And if you want more content dissecting the psychology of relationships, more insights into the signals people conceal, more honest truths that are rarely discussed, then ensure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. Leave a comment below. I read them all. And please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this content reach other men on a similar path. Of course, if you wish to delve even deeper into attraction, personal power, and grounded masculinity, there is more available for you. Thank you for your time and attention. And always remember, a younger woman might be captivated by your presence, but she builds a life with the strength of your character.